Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, bringing you this midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration so that you're continuously living your best life and also striving to create improvement in areas maybe where you're saying, I'd like things to be better over here. And today's guest, Debra Reis, is here with us, and we're going to be having a powerful conversation about optimizing your energy blueprint to maximize healing. And I'll bring her on in just a moment. Let me first share some good and exciting announcements inside the wonderful world of Women's Prosperity Network. So, first of all, I want to say kudos and thank you to all of our members who showed up yesterday for our monthly connections, coaching, and conversations call. I heard that it was robust and ripe with valuable information and growth for everybody that was there. So we do that the first Tuesday of every month. And then also, we've got a very special workshop coming up July 19th and 20th, led by co founder of Women's Prosperity Network, Trish Carr. And this is called The Business of Speaking. And at this 2-day workshop, you are going to get a combination of how can I be more effective in my presentations? And when we talk about being effective, it's from two perspectives. One, creating that engagement that gets people interested and involved, and effective from being able to inspire people to want to continue to work with you. So we give you like, how do you actually do that? Create an engaging, inviting presentation. And then secondarily, what's the business of speaking? How do you get those speaking engagements? What do you need to have in place in order to make it easy for you to get appearance after appearance after appearance? So be sure to visit womensprosperityNetwork.com, go to the events calendar, and you'll see all the wonderful ways that we've got education and training and connection to support you in having the life that you desire and that you deserve. So with that, let me go ahead, clear the little froggy in my throat, and bring on today's guest. Debra Reis has a lot of initials and they're very important. So MSN, RN, and CNS. She is a registered nurse. She's got many certifications. She's been in the healthcare industry for over 25 years. Is that correct?
Probably over 35. Yeah.
Over 35 years. This
Yeah.
woman is dedicated to healing and has been probably since she was, 5 years old, is what I'm guessing. And she provides healthcare leaders with proven strategies and a 12-step process that stops the hemorrhage of nurse turnover. She works with healthcare professionals and nurse leaders searching for creative solutions for nurse retention and team cohesiveness. She is an author, a speaker. She has recently been featured in USA Today and the International Business Times for her breakthrough programs that she offers to help the nursing industry, to help the healthcare industry. And she is with us today to share some of the things that she gives to nurses and teams and leaders to help them manage their very, very busy, stressful professions and lives. She's bringing us today those same strategies that we can use to make our lives better. So welcome, Debra.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's beautiful.
So we're going to jump into the whole concept of optimizing your energy blueprint. But if you don't mind, I want to take a step back to this amazing work that you do and this passion you have in the nursing and the healthcare field. How did you, first of all, transition from being a nurse and providing value and services to now providing services to nurses themselves? How did that happen?
Right. It really is a transition that I saw probably throughout my career. It is something that I feel burnout has been part of our industry, and as many industries that might be dealing with chaos and, high stress kind of positioning and high stressed environments. But what I discovered is that as care providers, that oftentimes that's, you're really interested in caring, and it's always giving. And we're not necessarily looking at how do we stay in balance. And I was seeing people at a very young age coming down with disabilities, and a lot of times because of stress, their bodies were breaking down. And I'm looking at, there's something more we can do. And I was introduced to holistic therapies as part of my career, looking at how I could, again, help others, but I found that they were also helping me. And in doing that, I wanted to share that with others. And when COVID came, that actually was even a greater opportunity to show nurses that they need to really be looking at their own self-care, because the stress is not stopping. If anything, it's increasing. And it's more important that we all look at that, because I think we all can feel the world and some of the activities and the events that are happening. And we're all feeling maybe a little bit more of that stress or that fast pace that we
Yeah.
are getting in, on that hamster wheel we're getting into. And just taking a moment and reminding ourselves we have to take time for us.
Yeah, I think that as the world has evolved, as technology has evolved, and we have all these amazing opportunities for connection and growing our businesses and being with people all over the world and getting so much information. It's like, it becomes sensory overload and we don't even
Yes.
realize it's happening.
Absolutely. And I think that's where we sometimes get in that fast pace that we forget. All right, sometimes I have to schedule that. I got to schedule that time to slow down. Or if I'm hurting, then I need to really make sure, and that could be physical, it could be mental, that
Yeah.
I need to do something for me and get back into that place of balance.
Yeah, yeah, really good. So, thank you for all you're doing to make a difference, in
Yes, thank
our
you.
lives, in the clients you serve, and the organizations that you serve, because having our healthcare workers be
Mm,
healthy, that's good for me. Right? Like,
absolutely.
if I'm going to that hospital, if I'm going to that doctor's office, I want them to be in a state of peace and calm and confidence. Right?
I-
Like, don't we
You
want
are
that?
absolutely right. Yes, we are. We may
You
not
know, 'cause
be physically in it, but yes, we are going to be there at some point. Yes.
correct, correct. All right, so let's talk about this beautiful term that I hadn't heard before I met you and started working with you. So talk about the energy blueprint and this imaginal body.
Yes, the imaginal body. I was introduced to this by one of my mentors, Elaine Valois, and Elaine is she's in the dance world, but she actually trained with Feldenkrais. She trained with some of the yogis. She actually trained with Robert Masters, who brought the concept of imaginal body to the present day. This is actually an ancient type of practice by the ancient Egyptians. And he brought that forward along with his wife, Jean Houston. Some of you may recognize that name. She's really big in guided imagery, in the guided imagery world. So really, and that really spoke to a lot of what the imaginal body is. Elaine Valois, who really did a lot with movement and still does, she really looked at how we could move and how we can bring our actual body and move it with the imaginal body. And just to clarify, imaginal is not imaginary, because if you look it up on Webster says it's imaginary, but that's incorrect. That is not, there actually is an imaginal body or imaginal cells that we all have. And I can talk a little bit about the science if you want to if you want me to
I
mention
do.
that.
I do want you, and so I want to ask a question as you're
Sure.
describing this, and I'm thinking of this imaginal body. So is this the energy field outside of me? Is that what we're
Right.
talking about?
Right.
Like people,
Good
is it
point.
my aura? Is it my aura?
Yes, I think we give it different terms. So our actual body, we know it, we can see our actual body, but I think we all know we're energy beings, and our body doesn't stop here, that we have this energy field. Every organic living thing on even the planet that is organic and has an energy. So it's in this work, it's called Imaginal Body, but it may be referred to as the subtle energy field. It may be referred to as your aura. Some people might refer to it as kinesthetic body. So I think we may give it different terms, but in how we are working with it, that's the language or the term that we use as far as the way of the five bodies, which is what the ancient Egyptians brought to us. We have the physical body, and then next would be the imaginal body.
And what is the science? You were going to share a little bit about the science on this because
Well,
she's
yeah, go ahead.
comes from the scientific thinking model,
Yes,
just so we all get it, right?
exactly. And I love, you can see I get really geeked out with that. Yeah, when the metaphysical, something we are talking about that maybe we can't always see, but there is that science behind it. And imaginal cells are actually a term that entomologists use when they describe the transformation of the caterpillar. So when the caterpillar forms this chrysalis and this magic occurring, these imaginal cells are carrying this message of transformation. So the caterpillar doesn't really accept it immediately. There's this battle that's going on within that, about changing, transforming. But soon it gives up, and these imaginal cells kind of overwhelm, and it just kind of gives in to this transformation and becomes this beautiful butterfly. So again, that's kind of a simplified way of how that science works, but basically the theory is we all have imaginal cells, and that we are able to use them. And one theory is that there's maybe 25% of a population globally who are actually working with their imaginal cells, imaginal body for that type of transformation, healing, coming back to that self-care balance. So it is something that I think we can entertain that thought as far as what could I do? What if these imaginal cells are within, and I believe they are, what transformation can be happening for us in our healing?
I love it. Yeah, and, it causes me to think, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, the imaginal cells feel to me like they're akin to my higher self,
Mm-hmm.
the best and, most potentiality for, good health, good relationships. Like, is that the imaginal self? So when I start visioning and dreaming about things that are better, I'm actually tapping into this field. Is that
I believe that, yes, I believe that is what is happening. And as we transform, and I think just like the caterpillar, sometimes we have this inner battle that is happening within us, this
yes,
this awareness of, oh my gosh, what is happening? And I think that's a lot of us are feeling that, right? With all this
feeling?
rapid pace that's going on, and we feel we want to move forward, but sometimes we're just like, okay, this fast pace that I need to move through. But once that happens, it's like this transformation that is allowed to occur. And so I think that is something we can learn, from that caterpillar transformation to the butterfly, is what is our possible for us in our conscious awakening and in our awareness.
Mhm. Good stuff. Now, all right, so I get this. It's
Mhm.
there. How do I access it? What do I do with it? How does it help me?
Right, right, right. So, with this, you want to maybe do a little experiential?
Okay.
This be good
That's
time to do that?
the
Yes,
luckiest girl. I get to get all the benefit of every guest that comes on.
that's
Okay.
right. Absolutely. So, I am going to invite all of us to get comfortable. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, but if you're driving, please don't do that. All right, just listen and maybe practice later as you listen to the recording. So I am inviting you to just get comfortable in your chair or wherever you might be. And again, I invite you to close your eyes. And I'm going to refer to the actual body as your physical body when I invite you to move that, and the imaginal body as that energy blueprint that surrounds you. Okay. And when I ask you to move that, that's what I'll be referring to as your imaginal body. So again, closing your eyes, being comfortable, just taking a breath in and settling in. And just for our experience today, I want to invite you to bring your awareness to your actual chin, face, head, your actual body. And as you slowly move your chin towards your shoulder, it doesn't matter what side, as you begin to move your chin towards your shoulder, notice in your body, what are you moving first? Is it actually your chin? Is it your nose? Maybe your forehead? What is happening to your neck as you move slowly, easily towards your shoulder? Is the opposite shoulder rising? See if you can lower it. Keeping your eyes closed, moving your actual chin towards your shoulder, and just noticing all the parts of the body that is moving as you do that. When you feel that you're at that point where your chin is at your shoulder, then open your eyes and just notice where you are. Just look at a point, close your eyes, and bring your chin back to center. Again, noticing what is moving, subtle movements in your actual body, your neck, your back, maybe your jaw. Are your lips parted or closed? All of that plays into our healing and how we move our body. I'm going a wee bit fast for our time, but that's okay. We're going to get this together. Once you come to center, just notice, keeping your eyes closed, I invite you now to take your imaginal body and move your imaginal head, chin to the shoulder where your actual body just went. So again, noticing imaginal chin, that subtle energy moving towards your shoulder where the actual body just was. And noticing those different areas in your imaginal body, your forehead, your nose, your shoulders, upper back. And I invite you now to go a little bit further with your imaginal chin, a little bit further than the actual body did. Now, take your actual chin and follow the path that the imaginal chin had took. Keeping your eyes closed, take that path. And the imaginal body went a little bit further. So you're just going to meet it. And when you do, just open your eyes and notice if your gaze is any different than the first time you did this. Just notice, close your eyes, and move both your actual and imaginal chin, head, neck, your actual imaginal body moving together to come back to center. And when you come back to center, just opening your eyes, just noticing how that side feels compared to the other side.
Wow, that was very cool.
Yes, yes.
As soon as I open my eyes, I'm like, "Oh, look at that."
Yes, yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, if anybody went a little bit further. I mean, oftentimes we do. Um, there's also, if we have time, we can do the other side, so we're equal, and we
That's
can do
well,
something a little bit different. But go ahead if you, yeah, whatever you're thinking.
yeah. I think that I have some questions. So
Sure.
should I do questions? Okay.
Yes.
So when my imaginal body went first, and then I took my head to meet it, my physical head didn't get as far as my imaginal body did. It
Oh,
got
okay.
it got close to it, but my
Mhm.
imaginal body was further.
Nice. Okay. Good
So
awareness.
I don't know what that means, if anything.
Well, I think it really shows an awareness that you you are able to go further,
Hmm.
and there are some subtle things that we could do, like let's lower this shoulder, let's see what's going on the opposite side of the body so that your actual body could get to that and meet the imaginal body. But that's a great awareness that you had of where your imaginal body was.
And so when it comes to maximizing healing and
Mm.
reducing stress, knowing this and being tuned into it, how do we use this to create improvements? I
Good
guess is
point.
the
Yeah,
question.
good question. First of all, I would say as we are under stress and we are rolling, we tend to ignore the messages our body is giving us. So to take that time to really feel and notice what is happening in my body, subtle differences, subtle changes that are happening actually help us in greater awareness and then that transformation of healing. But it also, if we are dealing and we know, all right, I'm dealing with a shoulder concern, then it can allow me to use my imaginal body for greater flexibility, perhaps, maybe greater mobility. As an example, we had somebody that was working, she had a frozen shoulder. That was her diagnosis, actually was going to be looking to do surgery. And after and this wasn't just, quick, but after some time of working with her imaginal body, this was about as far as she could get her actual hand
Mm.
before we started to work with the imaginal body. And over time, she was able to get it all the way up and was amazed at no pain, no frozen shoulder, that she had this mobility and flexibility by tapping in and and moving and doing those exercises. Now, will it stay like that if you don't continue to do some sort of work? I'm not sure. It may, but my guess is just like anything else, our bodies are meant to move. So
Mhm.
again, keeping that mobility and movement going.
So are there, and I know that you have a mini course on the
Mhm.
imaginal body, and you're going to tell us about that in just a moment. Is this something that, if I have chronic pain or I
Mhm.
have tummy issues or I have, anxiety, like do we can use the imaginal body for all of these types of things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, you
Hmm.
mentioned the courses, but yeah, because I divided up into the upper body, the lower body, and the core. So if you're dealing with things like tummy issues or back issues, things of that nature that we think, okay, how am I going to tap into that? You can. You can absolutely get into that imaginal body. And again, we come into this world as that perfect blueprint. Actual body may not be a perfect, perfect, what we think
Yeah.
is perfect. But our blueprint is there and we can tap into that and that awareness.
Excellent, excellent. I'm going to have Deborah tell you about this course in just a couple of minutes. I have a question. So, because I am filled with questions, I'm a curious girl.
Yay.
Uh, so let's say, I observe that I'm feeling stress or anxiety unease, something like that. Is there a quick something I can do to help dissolve that? It's like
Or
there's a
I,
using the yeah.
just in general, I think even before you start with the Imaginal Body or with any kind of relaxation, just getting still and using your breath. I think our breath is so powerful, and you can even use the Imaginal Body to help you with breathing, like to get greater volume. When we are anxious, when we're stressed, our breathing, what happens? We kind of come in, it gets constricted. So moving your breath with your imaginal lungs and increasing your volume actually, and your focus, because now I'm not thinking about all those thoughts that are, driving me crazy, but I'm thinking about where can I go with my breath, with my breathing. And very quickly, you can do that in a matter of a couple of minutes, maybe, if that,
Mhm, mhm.
just to get yourself still and come back to that place of balance.
Yeah, very good, very good. So let's do this. We're at the halfway mark, and I'm wondering, should we do the other side first or start opening up for questions first? What would you recommend?
Well, let's do the other side because I'm going to do something a little bit different.
Okay,
And just so that we don't feel like we're off balance in our sides here.
thank you.
So yes, I thought, yeah, that might be good so that you can feel a little bit different. So again, just taking that breath in, getting yourself quiet, consciously being aware of your actual body and your imaginal body. Again, you're going to take your actual body, your chin, your head, and move it to the other shoulder. Okay, just moving, just like you did before, moving it to the other shoulder. And I'm going to invite you maybe to go a little bit. You can go a little bit more. Now that you know what's happening, you can tune into the other areas of your body. And once you get there, again, just open your eyes to see where your gaze falls. Now close your eyes, your keep your actual chin is over by your shoulder. Now, with your eyes closed, take the imaginal chin and start to move it towards your shoulder as your actual chin comes towards midline. There's going to be a point where you might feel a connect. Let's begin. Actual chin comes towards midline. Imaginal chin comes towards shoulder. Just sense, feel where that connection happens. When it does, stop the actual chin. Let the imaginal chin continue to move towards the shoulder, finding the path of least resistance and going a little bit further than the actual chin did. Now let your actual chin continue to follow that path of the imaginal body, the path of least resistance. It's showing you, follow. Let yourself go all the way to that imaginal. And when you're there, opening your eyes, just take notice of where you're at. Close your eyes and bring both of them back, the imaginal, the actual, both of them coming back to that point of midline. And when you're there, just opening your eyes and noticing how your body feels, these shoulders, the neck, head. And yes, Nancy, go ahead.
So I feel more relaxed and aligned. I can't
Mm,
exactly describe it, but I feel like I feel more aligned. Um, so to that, what I'm getting is like if when I can be connected with my imaginal body, I
yes.
am, I'm more relaxed, I'm more in flow. So maybe some of this stress or anxiousness I could feel at times is because I'm not in sync with my imaginal body and my physical body are out of sync.
That's a really good awareness. And you know what? That's where it starts. Absolutely. Becoming aware. Okay, if I can come into sync, into this balance,
Yeah.
then I can flow easier.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're using all of your assets to move forward, whether it's, working on your business or having a conversation in
Yes.
a relationship. Like if I can bring all of me in flow, how much more effective am I going to be? That's
Right.
cool.
So it's
Thank you.
maximum use. You're welcome. I like to put
Yeah.
it as maximum use of your body and mind
Mm.
with the least amount of effort for the greatest results.
Really yummy. Like I want to get good at this. Like this was good, and now I need
It's a
to want
taste.
to. No, I want to practice this more consistently so that it's my default rather than my imaginal body. Like we want to get to that place with these types of things where it's we're moving most of the time in sync, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
like anything else, the more you practice, the more you're tapping in, the
Mhm.
quicker it can come you can align. Just like when you did the other side, you were
It's
able
easy.
to go a little bit quicker. Maybe you
Yeah.
felt that connection when the actual and the imaginal came together and what that felt like. So that'd be
Super.
interesting to hear from the group as well,
Yes, yes,
what they
yes. Yeah,
experienced.
awesome. This was fun. I liked it. I feel good.
Good. Yay.
Um,
That's the whole idea, feeling good in your
yeah.
body and in your mind and your spirit.
Let's do this now, my friends. So we're going to open for questions or comments. This is your opportunity to tap into Debra's expertise and knowledge and peace and calm that she brings. Like I just love listening to your voice too.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so if you're with us on Zoom, you can raise your hand and then we'll take your question. If you're on Facebook, put it in the comment thread and I'll go ahead and bring it to the table. And if you're on your phone, simply hit *6 and then you'll be able to, I'll ask you to unmute when it's your time. So again, this is our time for questions, ahas, insights. And while everybody's coming into queue, Deborah, let us know. I know you put together a very special little program for us to do. So tell us about that and I'll get the link for
Yes, yes, I have a 3-part mini series that I alluded to. It's called the Imaginal Body 3-part mini series. And it is again, it's online, it's being done at your pace. So you can kind of stop and go as you wish. But it is about, I have one course. They're each of the 3 pieces are about an hour. And so we really go into the upper body in the one, go into the lower body for the second, and then the core. And so many of us, I know, just in my line of work, many of us are dealing with low back issues, core issues. So it's really important that we're practicing that and we're looking at different movements to do that. And so that offer, I saw Nancy put that into the chat.
yeah.
Thank you. And so, yes, it's normally a $97 course. And with this group for today, I'm offering it to them for $27. So it's, really feel this is powerful, powerful work that is just really something to help us explore and tap into what we could do for our own healing.
Mhm.
And I think just the magic that happens, everybody is different. And the things that people report back, I just am always amazed. And so grateful that we're able to have these tools.
Yeah, it's great. And I love, there's a lot of conversation about, the body-mind connection.
Mhm.
This practice is really about bringing those together. So
Absolutely.
that's
You're
very
very
empowering.
right. Hmm.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so go ahead, hit *6 on your phone, raise your hand if you're with us on Zoom. It's a perfect time to ask Deborah some questions and grab this course that she put together so that we can practice this and bring this peace and calm. We'd also love to hear what was that experience like? So, how
Yes.
far did you go with your chin? So, we'd love a couple of you to share what was that experience like when you did the imaginal body moving to the two sides. I mean, it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
so the website you're going to go to take advantage of her generosity. The course is only $27, and you go to bit.ly/DEBREISIB. So it's Deb Reese Imaginal Body. That's what it stands for. So bit.ly/Deb Reese IB. DEBREISIB.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me go ahead and open up. Kate Brown is in the house. Kate Brown, can you unmute yourself? And you shared in the comments that I'd love you to talk about your experience with Debris, and all of this good stuff with Imaginal Body.
Good morning, ladies. This is a
Hi,
lovely
Kate.
way to start my Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've known Deb for a while, and we've worked together, and I've had the privilege of doing some of this Imaginal Body work with her, and it's so powerful. And I have a lot of trouble with my neck, and it gets really stiff and sore, and sometimes I lose some movement, especially to the right side, and it's been bothering me the last few days. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I think to do this? And so this morning when we did this, it was like just like my whole upper back and neck and everything just released and relaxed. And from a physical perspective, it was, very healing for me. And I need to remember to do this more often,
Yeah.
and not forget that this is a great tool for all of us to use. But then there is also a calmness, like Nancy said, kind of that alignment to be centered and feel more grounded and just take a moment and get into, really connecting with the physical part of my being. Because sometimes I spend a lot of time out in those other layers, and, kind of to ground me and to bring that all together. It's always such an amazing feeling to me.
Right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for sharing. And um, I know, Kate, also you were part of a group that we did when we did the Imaginal Body work in a group setting. And that was really interesting to see how that energy is even greater, I think, when we do this in a group work. So it is certainly something, you can do as part of a group activity, and something I envision that I would love to see, like in healthcare, different, like in rehab or things of that nature, where we could actually be doing this as part of group healing or group rehab kind of therapies, that this work could actually be beneficial. But it was very powerful in that group setting Kate and I were in, just to see some of the emotions that
Mm.
people were releasing as they found greater mobility in areas of their body that maybe were really tight or they didn't have. And that, we are emotional, physical, mental, spiritual beings. So sometimes it does, if that was in, if anybody felt that is certainly part of that healing, is the emotional piece that may come from that. I don't know if you remember that, Kate, but yeah.
I do. And I was just kind of like when we were talking about it, even like kind of being able to go back into that experience and how that group energy just created even greater healing for each of us
Mhm.
who were in the group, versus when I've done this, just on my own, or when you know, you in a small group or seeing you teach it online or something,
Right.
the difference there is just really remarkable. So thank you again for sharing this. And I'm so glad I didn't have anything first thing this morning to be able to watch you guys live.
Thank you.
Yay! Love, love, love it. All right, good, good. Thank you, Kate. And again, I want to encourage everyone, go to bit.ly/DEBREISIB. So it's Deb Reis Imaginal Body, Deb Reis IB.
Mhm.
That'll pop up, and instead of $97, it'll be only 27 for you.
Yes.
So imagine, I'm just sitting here thinking, how much does it cost to go buy a bottle of ibuprofen?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get a massage? How much does it cost to go see the doctor? And I'm not saying not to do those things if that's what's needed, but what if
Right.
you could get the relief right here and now? How much is that bottle of wine? Which is my go-to.
Reduce your stress. Yeah.
And I know that's actually not good for me. That's big. So
Right.
anyway, grab this beautiful gift that Deb has put together for us. Let me go ahead and get a couple of other people. I see unmuted phone number is 312-217. Did you have a question or a comment?
Wow Wednesday. Thank you so much to the Women's Prosperity Network. That was just such an amazing presentation.
Thank
So
you.
I'm attorney. You're welcome. I'm attorney Demetrius Evans, and I'm always wowed by the Women's Prosperity Network Wednesday.
Nice to see
So
you.
wow.
Nice to have you. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so here's my question. My church does like a spiritual body, right? So I wondered, where does this come from? Like, is it, and I'm not sure that it matters that much, except for I'm curious too. So
Mhm.
is it like Middle Eastern? Is it, Indian? Is it Hoodoo? Is it like, where does it come from? That's my first question. And then my second is, when you're thinking about imagining the energy, does that have color, or does it matter, or what does the energy look like when, like, I'm trying to get a picture of it.
Okay. To
Okay,
answer your
thank
first
you.
question. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Was there something else?
No, I was just saying thank you because I know you're going to give wonderful answers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. To answer about where it comes from, I think this is actually universal. It was identified by the ancient Egyptians. But as we mentioned earlier, I think we give it different cultures may have a different language or different terms that they may give this subtle energy. We do I do teach in the Healing Touch Spiritual Ministry program, so we do work with that energy field and what we might talk about as that energy or the divine. Again, I think it's maybe the language or understanding of how we might work with it, but it still is that perfect blueprint that we all come into the world with. And I think across cultures, there is that understanding or belief. And then color, some people might see color, some people might feel. I'm more of a kinesthetic. I feel it when we did this connect. I could kind of feel something, but I have had some people hear, like they can hear a click when, with the imaginal body. Some people might see, like in their mind's eye, this color of their energy or imaginal field, body field. So I think we all have different gifts, and it's really honing and developing and practicing in order to really feel and then use it to kind of help us in our own healing process. I hope that answers the questions.
Thank you so much.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great day,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Demetrius. Yeah, it's interesting. I did not consider color when I was doing the activity. And for me, I didn't hear a click necessarily, but I felt the
Hmm.
coming together.
Hmm.
However, now that the concept of color was brought to the table, my imaginal body, the color is kind of like a translucent blue gray.
Hmm.
Uh, so it was really interesting. So thank you for that enhancement to my experience, Demetrius. That was really
Yes.
good.
And thank you for bringing that up, because we do have, and it's sometimes people are like, oh, what's happening? It's all okay. Just explore the opportunities.
Yeah, it's like I can feel it all, and now that I have color to it, it
Yeah.
feels actually more real I don't know.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
I
you're
see a
just
hand raised.
yeah,
Somebody,
you're taking me on all kinds of journeys today, my
good,
friend.
good. I think
That's awesome.
I think Dr. Smile has her hand raised. Is
Yes,
that
she does. I was just
okay?
about to go to her. Perfect. So, Dr. Roz, bring it, my friend.
Hey, 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 you are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. And
Ah,
oh my gosh, Deb, I don't remember hearing about you here. I learned of you from my best friend who has now gone on. Oh my
oh,
gosh. My Dr. Japonica, because she loved Dr. Joe Spenza and you. And
oh,
what I shared in the link, if I'm not mistaken, you did that. Like we lost her in 22, and she shared that with me like the beginning of the year of January, and I think you did that in 21. So when that took place, she was the real bona fide epitome of a true girlfriend. She'll let
oh,
you waddle and vomit and all of that kind of stuff, but then she'll come back with the questions for your arise, right? And she knows that I love acronyms. So the acronym for Imaginal
Mm,
was inspired mindset, aligning greatness, and nurturing abundant love.
oh, wow. Love that.
So, and then of course, there was a mantra scripture. If you're familiar with this, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by
Mhm.
the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will.
mm.
So I was over here just trying to fight the tears. The girls know if it's something good, I'd usually be all in the chat box, but I'm just reminded of my bestie, and thank you so
Oh,
much. But that's an acronym, so I'll go paste it for you so you know
please.
that it's
Thank you.
that
Would
it's
you,
there. And yeah,
what,
so but
tell-
huh? I'm
I
sorry,
wanted,
say that again, Nancy.
yeah, I wanted to hear the acronym again because somebody's asking for us to post it. Do you have it typed up
Uh,
already?
it's written in my journal, so I can either
Oh,
type it, but I'll say it one more
tell me.
time.
Tell me.
Inspired mindset, aligning greatness, and nurturing abundant
Wait, wait, wait,
love.
wait.
Uh-oh.
Aligning greatness and nurturing.
And nurturing abundant love.
Mm,
So,
it's really
what
good.
what Deb is showing us, like Deb, when you said about imaginal, it's not
It's not
imagery,
imaginary. Right.
it's not imaginary, not imagery, but yet I agree to disagree because when Nancy talked, she heard attorney talk about color that made Nancy go into a level to see that color.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so just but
And just to clarify,
glory.
imagery is also not imaginal. So I agree with
Yes,
part of imagery. Yes, I agree with that.
yes,
But it's not imaginary.
imagine,
It's that we're
yes,
making it up kind of thing. It's
Right.
not
yes,
imaginary
yes,
piece. So it is,
yes,
that's where it's different. Right. But thank you
yes,
for helping
yes,
clarify. Yes.
yeah. But thank you so much because I think people may have. I mean, we do need to distinguish between those, and we got so much in our English language
Yes.
that can confuse us.
Yes.
But thank you so much for that.
Thank
And you
you.
got my favorite orange hue on. So Nancy loves blue. I love oranges. Exuberation. So inspired mindset, aligning greatness, and nurturing abundant love. So thank you, my sister, for today's teaching. I love y'all.
Thank you.
Love you too. Right back at you, my sister. Thank you so much. I have posted that acronym in the chat as well as on Facebook. So thank you, Keisha, for asking us to do that. That was perfect. And let's go ahead and I'll remind you all, grab her delicious gift, which is go to bit.ly/Deb Reis IB, DEBREISIB, all lowercase, all one word. And I know also that on your main website, debrareis.com, you've got some free downloads and other gifts that we can take advantage of. Yes?
Yes, I do. I have a free download that you can go to get 3 quick tips to reduce your overwhelm. And it's different things you can do very quickly to help bring yourself back to balance, and also moving into calming the chaos. So some tips that can help you with that. There's 3 videos on that. And
Awesome.
also wanted to mention, if you do go forward with the Imaginal Body course, I am going to be offering a free Zoom gathering at the end of this month, the 25th. And I will be getting that information to you, but it will be really to help. What questions, now that you've worked with hopefully that'll give you some time to work with the course. What questions do you have? What kinds of other things can we do to help in moving with our Imaginal Body? So that is something that is going to be part of the offer, and open to those of you who do go forward with the course. So just wanted to mention that, we're not going to just leave you hanging with that course, but actually coming together and really diving in with other people who have been doing the work. And I think it's a great way to learn from each other, kind of like what Kate and I said with the group activity. It's a great way to come together.
And you tap into that next level of energy and possibility and all of that beautiful stuff as well. And I love that you're doing it at the end of the month, because I need time to dig into this. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing.
Right.
So
No, I understand. So exactly, that's the reason. So, but it's still fresh, but being able to do that. And I do want to put also a plug in, Nancy. If you do, for those of you who do aromatherapy, I would invite you to do the exercise, even the exercise we just did, and put your aroma, either breathe it in or put it on a tissue and put it next to you, and do that exercise again. And it's amazing, because things like color, aromatherapy are all frequency. So you can enhance the frequency. You can even find that you can get greater mobility, flexibility, balance when you integrate these other tools that can help us. So, it works well as part of other modalities or other tools that you might be using. Don't hesitate to use it with this body of work.
That was really good. And as a matter of fact, I don't know who gave me this, but this is clarity. I don't know if it was you or Kate or Margaret, but when we held the retreat, that was thank you for it's sitting on my desk, but I forget.
Yeah, mine is too. And I'm like breathing it in, and yes, I had it. Yeah, I had it here, but we did this in the class, and again, did the same exercise, but with the aromatherapy. And it was amazing to see very quickly how people got even greater flexibility and mobility.
Cool. So I have one more question, time permitting. I think we'll be able to do it. This is from Carol from our Facebook community. She says, thank you. Somatic and energy medicine heals. How do you see this incorporated into a yoga practice?
Oh, I think it would be excellent to do. I think during, in fact, even when you're doing some of the poses, sometimes those poses are challenging. I think you could do it, like have them bring their imaginal body into the pose and then have the actual body come and connect with that,
That's what I'm thinking. I have trouble
Yes.
from downward dog to go into a lunge. Like I always have to move my leg up because I'm not there yet.
Right.
But I think if I do my imaginal body first, that'll be
Yes.
really curious. Thank you, Carol and Deborah. That was good.
And I think too, in Shavasana, when you're doing your relaxation, as you're moving into that relaxation, I think that's another place where you can maybe get greater flexibility, is have the imaginal body move and then the actual body, and then the actual body with the imaginal body. I think you could do different things with that. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you, Carol. Great question. Great answers. Amazing guest with us today. So, Deb, thank you so much
Thank you.
for all you do in the world, my life, and now in our community as well. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Be sure to go to debrareis.com and see all the gifts and goodies that she's
Yes.
got there. And also, let me say this. If you know somebody in healthcare, in nursing, who's in any kind of one of those environments and feeling a little stressed or frustrated, burnt out, introduce them to Deb because she specializes in bringing these tools and techniques into those facilities. And there's even funds available for it. Like, this is good stuff, right?
Mhm.
So definitely create those connections. I thank you for being with us today. Get out
Thank
there,
you.
make it a wow day, and keep
Yes.
on shining, my friends. Thank you, Deb. Bye, everyone.